What are you being messy for? If you ghosted someone, why are you hitting them back up or thinking about them even? You're the one that ghosted them. So why are you missing them? It just doesn't make sense to me. What's good, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you can tell from the title of this video, we have a zodiac list today, and this one is all about what you are daydreaming about. This one is from CoStar Astrology. I'll post it in a bit. But I thought this one was so funny and kind of perfect for this Pisces full moon eclipse, because you know, Pisces is ruled by the 12th house of the subconscious and, you know, fantasy. And I think you can tell a lot from a person based on what they daydream about. It's pretty personal. So we're gonna get into it. First up, we have Aries. And Aries, what you daydream about is how much fun they had when they were single. Ooh, they called y'all out. Oh my God. They said you had more fun when you weren't tied down. Honestly, that is so funny. I always feel like an Aries is just as hard as a Gemini to tie down or a Sagittarius to tie down. Like, they really have to have a partner in crime, someone that is willing to do the craziest shit with them and has as much energy as them. Because I think for a lot of people, you get into a relationship, right? Not every relationship, but for a lot of people, you get into a relationship and you kind of tone it down. Like, you're kind of more chill, you're staying at home more. Again, not all relationship, but most of them. You're not on these streets. And I feel like, you know, Aries, they be missing the streets. What I want for you is to stay single for as long as you want to stay single. Like, don't get in a relationship just because you feel like everyone around you has a relationship. Aries, you do well in relationships where you guys are still out and about and doing shit. You know, you're a cardinal sign. You don't want to just be sitting around. So be careful who you get into a relationship with, because you don't necessarily want to calm down or tone it down just because you're in a relationship. If anything, you want someone, you know, it's like a Bonnie and Clyde type of love where you guys genuinely want to have your partner in crime and you want to experience life together. And the whole concept of your partner, you know, leveling you out, it doesn't fit for Aries. Like, they don't want someone that's gonna tell them to tone it down or to be chill or makes them have a more chill lifestyle. And I feel like if they're in a relationship where they're doing that, their partner's doing that to them, that's when they're daydreaming about how much fun they were having when they were single. You know, you don't want your Aries to be thinking about that. Next, we have Taurus. Getting rich enough to not need a job. Oh my God. Like, Tauruses right now, they're like, yes, how did you know that that's what I want to manifest right now? Like, that is my goal. Work smarter, not harder. That is what Taurus really wants in life. Like, I think people forget that, like, you know, Taurus is ruled by the second house, so they are all about the finances. And although they love to lounge and relax, they can't really lounge and relax if they are feeling brokey broke. You know what I mean? Like, they want to lounge and relax knowing that they have some sort of passive income or that their job is giving them everything they want out of life, where they don't feel stressed about money. You know, Taurus in general wants to have the kind of lifestyle where they are able to do things at their own pace. You know, the whole like capitalistic lifestyle where it's go, 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 like I need a side hustle. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want that. They want to work the least amount of time and get paid the most amount of money. I don't know why everyone in life doesn't want that. I don't know. I feel like we should all want that. I feel like we should force our society to want that for us. I mean, maybe my dreams are too big and maybe I have too high of hopes to think that that's possible, but I genuinely think it is. And in general, I feel like Taurians, they want to live a life where their job isn't their main priority. You know what I mean? And I think in a society where a lot of your value comes from your job, Taurus doesn't necessarily align with that, but they do want to be making good money, because more than anything, they want to, like I said, they want to be lounging around. They want to go on that nice vacation. They want to really enjoy their home. You know what I mean? Like that is what they're working hard towards, is to create a comfortable home life. And what is the point of being rich and being wealthy and working hard if you can't even have the time to lounge around and really experience the luxury of your home and this space that you've created for yourself where you can really relax, and a space that you're really proud of? Because Taurians are very proud of all their things, but most importantly, their home. It's their sense of security, right? Like they love being at home because they've created the safest space for themselves there. So of course, when they have free time, they're daydreaming about just being at home, chilling. Like that's the vibe. That's what they want. Okay, next we have Gemini. Seducing every hot stranger that passes by. Yes, yes, yes. What did I say? I've said it before in other episodes, other videos. Like for Gemini, every single person that they are connecting with, you know what I mean? You are now part of their experiment in their head, right? Like truly, Gemini wants to connect with as many people as possible so they can learn about different personalities, different types of people. And in general, I feel like because of the reaction that Gemini gets from people when they're talking to them, like when a Gemini is talking to you, you can't help but be very much engaged in the conversation because you see how passionate Gemini is when they're talking to you. Any story that they're telling you, they're so into it, and you can't help but be into it too. So Gemini knows the power that they hold over people when they're speaking. But I feel like to them, they're like, well, when I'm passing by people, like that's a missed opportunity. That was a missed connection. You know what I mean? And in their head, they're like, what could it have been? You know, if they were to have stopped, if I were to have bumped into them and then suddenly we lock eyes, where could that conversation have gone? You know what I mean? What could have that connection been? You know, they're constantly thinking about people and opportunities that they've missed. You know, they have that kind of need to make every moment in life count. They really, really do. Gemini really, really does. And I feel like whenever they meet strangers or they lock eyes with a stranger or whatever, like to them, they can't help but think that like, oh, this is what could have been. You know what I mean? They're gonna think about it. Granted, 3 seconds later, they're over it. They're thinking about something else. But genuinely, they're so aware of the stimuli around them, of the people around them, of the strangers around them. And they have the capacity to think about it. You know what I mean? Like, I think some people, it's really easy for them to just focus on the people that are relevant in their life, such as their friends, family, whatever, coworker, whatever. Like they're just talking to the person there, right? Gemini can somehow be aware of the situation in front of them, so the person in front of them, but they also have the space in their mind to be looking around and seeing what's happening in their environment. And I think because of that, it's really easy for them to daydream about like strangers or like that one person that they saw. Like they really have that ability to remember people and to remember what could have been. You know, they daydream about that shit. Okay, next we have Cancer. The apologies they'll never get. That is so real. Like truly, daydreaming about the apologies you'll never get is so real. Cancer, as a Scorpio, I get it. I understand. You know what I mean? But the thing is, that shit makes you angry. I know it makes you angry. And it reminds me of the fact that Mars in Cancer is actually in fall, so it's not the best Mars placement because Mars and Cancer natives can be very passive aggressive, right? And it's so funny that this is what Cancer placements are daydreaming about, because a lot of times actually Cancer placements, they hold back. Like you might think, and they are, yes, Cancer loves to, you know, explode and, you know, release all their feelings, their cardinal water, but you would be surprised how many times Cancer has actually let shit go, especially when it comes to the people that they love. Like when they really, really feel this affection towards you and you're a part of their family, you know what I mean? Friends, they consider family too. They let things go a lot because they just love you and they don't want to lose you. Then later, it happens to catch up to them. I feel like Cancer placements, like later in life, they have these memories that replay in their head of people that had them fucked up that didn't apologize to them. And it first makes Cancer really, really sad. And then it makes Cancer really, really angry. You know what I mean? I feel like Cancer placements in general, they are such sensitive people, and because they lead with their emotions, you would think that they got it all out of their system, but there's definitely people that Cancer thinks about that owe them apologies, and Cancer feels like, you know what, it's a little too late, but they replay these conversations and these situations in their head for the rest of their life. They're very similar to Scorpio in that sense, very vengeful. They daydream about people on their knees, you know, begging for forgiveness, and that's just the way it goes for Cancer. A lot of times they also want to play it cool, you know what I mean? They want to come off as like cool and chill and calm, and the thing is, Cancer wants to forgive. They really, really do, because they're tired of thinking about all the people that took their, you know, sweetness for granted. But they also are such nostalgic people that I feel like you guys kind of like it. You kind of like thinking about these people. I feel like you do. Like, you guys are the types to never let it go because you have this nostalgic feeling when it comes to certain people. And a part of you tells yourself that you've forgiven them, but I feel like the other part of you, Cancer, you're kind of holding on to that anger and you're holding on to that passive aggressiveness. And I feel like it makes you feel justified. It makes it feel justified the next time you see them because you remember who owes you an apology and you are never gonna let it go. But now you feel justified whenever you are rude to them, mean to them, because, you know, in your head, you're like, I remember, but I'm not gonna talk about it. So instead, I'm gonna be passive aggressive. That's how you guys release your emotions a lot of times when it comes to people that still owe you an apology. You are super passive aggressive. And if someone were to bring it up and be like, are you mad at me? You'd be like, no, I'm not mad at you. I don't even remember you. But you'd be daydreaming about that apology though. Okay, next we have Leo. An alternate universe where they're dating a celebrity. Yeah. Honestly, an alternate universe where they are the celebrity. Like, let's be honest. Like, why are you acting humble? Like, I feel like it's so humble to be like, where I'm dating a celebrity. No, an alternate universe where you are the celebrity, where you are the most famous person on this whole entire planet. That's what Leo is daydreaming about. Truly. I feel like Leos want to be seen and recognized for all that they are. Like, that is what's gonna make them feel the most fulfilled in this life. But also, yeah, I mean, if the next step is to date a celebrity before they become the celebrity, yeah, let's start there. Let's start small is what Leo is thinking. I also feel like Leo likes being shown off. So I could also see that, like, daydream about the fact that someone that is, you know, of high status, like a celebrity, has chosen them. And like, whenever someone new is dating a celebrity, like, you know, everyone's like, oh, who is that person? Like, let's learn everything about this new person that so-and-so is dating. And like, Leo would love that. Like, Leo would love that so, so much. Like, Leo has been waiting for their big break. I don't know, in general, I just feel like if you have a Leo placement, you definitely made fake music videos growing up. Like, you know what I mean? Actually, this is a Leo Mars. Like, did you ever, you know, create a whole ass little dance routine with your cousins and then perform it in front of your family members? You probably have a Leo placement. You are entitled to financial compensation because truly Leo wants to be seen, and they're daydreaming about a time where they are seen and loved and valued, when the world finally sees them for all that they are. Leo is daydreaming about that. Like, Leo truly believes in themselves. They're just waiting for the universe and for the world and their celeb boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, to finally notice them. That is what they're waiting for, and that is ultimately what their life is leading up to. Because once that happens, Leo feels like that is when it's all finally beginning. Okay, next we have Virgo, and for Virgo, it's telling off their boss. Yeah, but they're never gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, actually, imagine if there was a video that showed like all the Virgos everywhere when they finally tell off their boss. Oh my God, the way I would watch that documentary. You know what I mean? Because you have to understand that for Virgo, multiple things must have happened for Virgo to finally lose their shit and talk back to their boss or someone that is a person of authority. Virgo follows the rules. They try to do everything right. If they have a boss that makes them feel underappreciated and undervalued, Virgo, it's a step-by-step process. The first step is Virgo thinking, I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. The second step is Virgo thinking, do they just not like me? You know what I mean? And then the third step is Virgo realizing, you know what? You're never gonna be happy with me, so now I'm gonna tell you off. But it takes a while for them to get to that step. Because mostly, and I'm sorry Virgo, it's true, you're gonna be in your head telling yourself that I'm not doing enough. It's gonna be a self-fulfilling prophecy of like, see, I knew I wasn't perfect. See, I knew I never do enough. Wrong, wrong, wrong. I actually think Virgos need to get better at telling people off, because especially people of authority, because you guys are really good at telling people off that you think are below you or like of equal, whatever. But people that are above you in terms of authority, that's when you guys have the hardest time, and it takes you guys a while to finally stand up for yourself, and I need you guys to be better at that. You know what I mean? I think you guys have one of the best work ethics out of the entire zodiac, so it really shouldn't take you that long to finally call people out, whether it's someone on your team or a boss or, like I said, any person of authority. You guys should call them out, and you should call them out quick, because a lot of times people are just waiting for you to finally stand up for yourself, Virgo. And because you genuinely feel like you're never doing enough, you can't help but think that you're the problem and that they're treating you like this because you aren't doing enough, and like that is just so wrong, and I feel bad for you. You know what I mean? Like, call people out. Call people out, and you're the best person to do it in a very demure way anyway. You know what I mean? You're not going to be out here cussing, raising your voice. You're just going to be literally laying the law down, letting them know, hey, I've been doing ABC and you haven't been appreciating ABC and you do not communicate with me, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Stop being quiet. Stop working more and being quiet. You need to let people know that, my work deserves to be valued. And it's gonna be hard, you know what I mean? Because you guys have a lot of trauma related to self-worth and like just worthiness or feeling like you're never doing enough. Okay, next we have Libra, decorating their future house. Yes, more specifically, their closet. And I feel like Libra can also meet up with Aries, and they can both sit there and think about the times when they were single. I know that's toxic, but I have to say, it doesn't mean that you want to be single. You know what I mean? You just can't help but think about the shit you were getting into when you were single. And again, it brings me back to date people, be with people that still allow you to have that freedom and that fun energy. You know what I mean? But to go back to daydreaming about, decorating your future home or closet, I genuinely feel like Libras are constantly thinking about how they can make something more visually appealing and aesthetically pleasing, whether that is themselves, whether that is their home. You know what I mean? They're constantly thinking about ways that they can improve the aesthetics of their life. So it makes sense that they're daydreaming about their future house, because Libra wants to be proud of the way that they're presenting themselves to the world. You know what I mean? They care. To them, literally, like I always say, look good, feel good, and your environment also affects you heavily, Libra. We talk about Virgos and how their environment affects them because they're perfectionists, right? And cleanliness really matters to them, right? And then for Libra, what matters to them is the visuals, the aesthetic. If it matches their mood, if it matches this chapter of their life. I feel like Virgos, if you are at a place where you feel like, I don't like my room, I don't like my closet or whatever, you should think about, have you shifted chapters in your life? Are you in a new chapter in your life? Then maybe it's time to change things around to fit the mood of this new chapter. I think that will help you guys out a lot. Okay, next we have Scorpio. Someone they ghosted but kind of miss now. Is that what you're daydreaming about, Scorpio? This one's toxic. Honestly, this one is toxic. I'm really trying to put myself in the shoes as a Scorpio and be like, is this really what we're daydreaming about? I feel like if you're a toxic Scorpio or if you're a low vibrational Scorpio, then probably, because I feel like Scorpios that are still low vibrational, it's hard for us to let people go. You know what I mean? We get really obsessed with people. We get obsessed with everything. We're the most obsessive sign. So I could see why we would be daydreaming about someone from the past that we miss now. But I think it's like Scorpio and Taurus, you need to be more open to making new connections and meeting new people. This is why you are thinking about people from the past, because you have such a harder time connecting with new people. So you can't help but bring up the roundup of the past. And it's like, why? For why? Like, that didn't work for a reason. You know what I mean? Also, I genuinely feel like when you have Scorpio in your chart, you probably have had very deep conversations with the people from your past. You have deep conversations with anyone you talk to. And I feel like because of that, even if it's someone you knew for 2 weeks, the conversations you had were probably in depth, and you probably know each other's trauma, or they probably don't know yours, but you know theirs. You know what I mean? You got deep with them. So I feel like because of that, it's really hard for us to cut ties with people because of how deep we get and how fast we get that deep. So that's also, and maybe another reason why these people from the past come around in our minds, is you're probably thinking about them because you have such intense knowledge about them, of who they are as a person, the deep parts of their soul, you know. And I feel like because of that, you probably are thinking about them. It's kind of similar to Cancer in a sense, where very nostalgic. And I need you to not be nostalgic when it comes to people from the past that you ghosted. I mean, you probably ghosted them for a reason. And also, I feel like, what are you being messy for? If you ghosted someone, why are you hitting them back up or thinking about them even? You're the one that ghosted them. So why are you missing them? It just doesn't make sense to me. I think something for Scorpio, because I didn't really like this one. What we're daydreaming about is what we should have said during that one argument that would have eviscerated them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, for Virgo, it's like, oh, like arguing with their boss, telling off their boss. I feel like for us Scorpios, we're thinking about any fight ever that we've had and what we should have said, what we could have said, what would have ended them. You know what I mean? That's literally what's running through our heads all the time, because we are Martians, you know what I mean? So we can't help but think about our fights with people. We can't help but think about the arguments we've had with people and what we could have said that would have been the finisher, you know? Okay, next we have Sagittarius. Sunbathing on the Amalfi Coast. Yes! That's actually really funny because me and Maya actually vacationed in Italy in the Amalfi Coast in 2023. So that is actually really freaking funny. And Maya constantly tells me, oh my God, that was the best trip. Yes, I agree, it was. But that's so funny because yes, Sagittarius is either dreaming about one of their past vacations, dreaming about where they could be right now, dreaming about a vacation that they've already booked. They're constantly thinking about their next getaway. Like they literally can't wait to get away. You know, that is Sagittarius. I always say this. You know, they're gonna do what they need to do to survive in this life, you know, have a normal job, blah, 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 blah. But all they're thinking about is their vacation time. All they're thinking about is their travel time and experiencing new cultures, being in a new neighborhood. You know what I mean? Trying a new restaurant. They can't help but want the new. They want that new at all times. And that's what they're daydreaming about. You know what I mean? They hate the reality of having a mundane schedule and of doing the same thing constantly. And I think when they daydream about vacation, they are also daydreaming about the possibilities. You know, it's that Jupiterian energy of like expansiveness, like what can happen there? Oh, what can happen there? Who will I meet there? What part of myself will I discover when I go here? They're constantly thinking about, you know, expansion and where their life can lead them if they were to travel somewhere. Okay, next we have Capricorn, world domination. Yeah, let me give you a play-by-play of the Capricorn rule book, right? Excel in school, get a good job, take over the company, become president, take over the world, die. Like if they could truly just have that, they're fine. No, I'm just kidding. But I feel like in general, one of Capricorn's biggest goals in life is to not have, and they'll never say this by the way, well maybe some of you will, one of their biggest goals is having so much power and authority where there's no one that can tell them what to do. You know what I mean? In general, I feel like Scorpio, Aquarius, Sagittarius, and Capricorn, oh yeah, they're all next to each other too. They don't do well with authority. I would say Aries too. But in general, I feel like Capricorn, they know what they bring to the table. They typically have a high self-esteem and they know the value that they bring to this world, especially when it comes to their personal power. Capricorn knows the pull that they have towards, you know, anything in this life. They know how to speak with authority. They know how to get what they want. They know how to do the right thing in order to get what they want. They are genuinely some of the most confident people when it comes to how they present themselves to the world, right? Capricorn is ruled by the 10th house of public image. And I feel like if you are on the road of world domination, you definitely need to have a good public image. The public needs to know you, respect you. They have to believe in your ability to get shit done. That is all Capricorn energy. Capricorns are people that are well respected because they are willing to do the hard work and they know how to have self-discipline. And if anyone's gonna take over the world and have world domination be a part of their journey on this planet, you already know that their self-discipline is on 10. You know what I mean? The bigger your goals are, the more self-discipline you need to have. I would say world domination is the biggest goal of all. So if anyone can do it, it's Capricorn. Next we have Aquarius, world peace. Aw, that is just so darn sweet. Is that what you guys are daydreaming about, Aquarius? I don't know, it sounds a little boring to me. Is that really what you're daydreaming about? Because I don't think so. I think you guys are daydreaming about a time when everyone leaves you alone. And if you had a button, and whenever you press that button, everyone can forget about you. And then when you press it again, you can be infused into people's lives again. Like genuinely, that is the dilemma of an Aquarius. Like they love their community and they love their friends and their people, but when they're over it, they want everyone to leave them the fuck alone. They want to self-isolate, and it's not on some depressed shit. You know what I mean? They genuinely need to do it because it makes them feel okay. And I think a lot of people are confused about Aquarius energy because they are ruled by the 11th house of the community, and they are really good at connecting with all kinds of people. But when they're in that self-isolation mode, they don't want people to ask them why they're isolating. They don't want to tell people why they feel the need to step away, why they need 3 days of no contact with anybody, why they want to go live in a forest alone to see if they can survive for a year. Aquarius doesn't want to tell anyone why they are doing that. They just kind of want it to be a thing, you know? And a lot of times I feel like Aquariuses are actually daydreaming about the randomest shit. It changes all the time. Another thing that Aquarius is daydreaming about is arguing with people, and not like Virgo or Scorpio. Like, this is the thing I should have said. Like, they're just daydreaming about talking to people that don't agree with them and they're just going back and forth. Like, to them, that's really fun. You know what I mean? And if they were to find someone where they could just argue back and forth all the time and their feelings wouldn't get hurt, like that is what Aquarius is really looking for in friendship and in relationships. Someone that is willing to, you know, create a 2-person debate club with them where they can just literally go back and forth, disagree with each other, be devil's advocates. Like that is truly an Aquarius's wet dream. That is what they want. So that is something that they're daydreaming about, in my opinion. Now, world peace, I'm really trying to put myself in your shoes of why you would be daydreaming about world peace. If you're daydreaming about world peace, like I don't even think I know you, because Aquarius energy would think that that's boring. If everyone agreed with each other and everyone was okay, like Aquarius would literally feel like this is the Truman Show. They would think that this is a joke. Like, am I getting punked? What do you mean everyone just gets along and no one disagrees with each other? No, Aquarius is not cool with that. So I disagree on that part. I'm sorry, it's a no for me. Okay, next we have Pisces, and for Pisces, whether they left the faucet on at home. That is the randomest thing ever. That is the randomest thing ever. But what can you really say about Pisces? They are, like I said at the beginning of this video, they are the sign that is associated with daydreaming, of fantasy land, of, you know, being anywhere but this reality. So Pisces is constantly daydreaming about literally everything, kind of like Aquarius. Pisces is daydreaming about their dreams last night. They're daydreaming about what it would be like if, you know, their place of work was on fire and they didn't have to wake up early. They're also daydreaming about what it would be like to finally be understood by everybody. I feel like Pisceans often feel misunderstood. And a lot of times I think they have trouble explaining that to people. So in their mind, they're thinking about what it would be like if people finally got them, if they didn't have to explain themselves to people. They're daydreaming about that a lot. But I will say, I feel like Pisces is very closely related to Dory from Finding Nemo. Pisces placements don't have the best memories. So I could also see them daydreaming about whether they left the faucet on at home, but they're constantly thinking about something else. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, but what if? And then that thought is gone. But then they'll still think about something else that maybe they forgot about. They're constantly thinking about something that they forgot about because they really are such forgetful people. All right, you guys, that is the end of that list. What did you guys think? Is this something you daydream about? Let me know. Did it hit more for your sun, moon, rising? Let me know. I feel like some of these were like really deep and then some of them were like kind of not so deep. So that was interesting, but I would say that most of them were pretty accurate. Let me know what you think again. I'm gonna link the social somewhere over here. Follow me on TikTok. If you're gonna follow me anywhere, follow me on TikTok because it's a lot of fun on there. Don't forget to subscribe so you know the next time that I post. I'll see you Thursday. Bye.